Good morning, gang. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome back to this week's Bitcoin update. First and foremost, remember it's not financial advice, it's for educational purposes only, and it's my view of the markets. Now we've got that out of the way. Let's jump back into the Bitcoin chart, shall we? I have got 3 very important announcements to make today, so I'm going to get those out of the way first, guys. First and foremost is probably the biggest announcement that I'm going to give, and that is we have a Black Friday sale going on that's just started today. Now, the Black Friday sale is 50% off. Okay, so 50% off any of our multi-month plans. So you can see here we've got the 3-month plan. Normal price is $300, obviously 50% off, half it. Same with the 6-month plan, so you can get 6 months for $250, or you could get an annual subscription for $450. So 50% off. Now, the links and the codes will be down in the description, but if you do get to checkout, make sure you enter the code BF24. That's Black Friday 24, BF24. Again, code's down in the description. So if you do want to invest in yourself in the next 12 months, then come join us. Obviously, within this, you get not just the educational content, but you also get our daily trading plans from 2 coaches. Yeah, so whether you want to trade like me, like a Confluence trader, or you want to trade more of a liquidity style analysis, then yeah, we've got everything covered. So yeah, links down in the description. Right, second announcement to make is if you are in the free Discord, this Friday, we're doing a public live stream. We're doing a shitcoin session. So effectively, the other coaches and I are going to sit down and live chat some altcoins for you guys, obviously based on request. And we're both going to chat them up and see where we come to. So more of a casual chill out stream. So obviously, if you guys are around, we'd love for you to join us. There's going to be beers, we're going to have a chat and have a bit of a laugh. Okay, so come along to that. And finally, the last thing that I need to talk about is our exchange partner, BloFin, has done a special offer for you guys. Not only have they done a 10% cashback, but we've also negotiated 20% off trading fees. Yes, 20% off trading fees, which is massive. So if you guys want to take advantage of 20% off trading fees, links down in the description. Obviously, you get your 10% deposit bonus as well. But yeah, take full advantage of that, especially in these current market conditions, and especially with what's around the corner. Okay, right. That's enough of the announcements. Let's get back onto the charts. Right. Effectively, all I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about the trades that we've been taking over the last week and a half. I've posted them all on Twitter, so you can go back and learn from them. Been very transparent with the trades that we've taken, longs and shorts. Longs and shorts since our last video update. There's been some great trades. Obviously, shorts are scalps. At best, intradays, we did get a bit of follow through on a couple of them. But at the end of the day, the trend is still pointing up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reiterate what I've been saying the past couple of weeks on this YouTube channel. The smart plays are longs. The daily trend is still pointing up. The 3-day trend is still pointing up. The weekly trend is still pointing up. And the monthly trend is still pointing up. Now, does that mean that I'm going to be opening up a swing long where we are right now? And hoping for some silly made up number that some influencers come out with? No. Why would I be swing longing into a strong uptrend like this? It just makes no sense. Especially if my thesis is correct and we are in a wave 5. Because this is the most unpredictable wave. For those that understand Elliott Wave Theory, wave 5 is your most unpredictable. Okay? It can either go absolutely parabolic, or it can be a bit short and crap. But we'll have to wait and see. So, lower time frame, longs are your friend. Okay? I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an insight to something. So this is something we've been using in the group quite a lot. So obviously this is the volume profile, and this is the volume profile ever since the 66, 67k low. So this is a major pivot for me. And we've been using this all the way up, and it's done some really nice moves. But what I'm going to show you now is what those nice moves have been. And this is how powerful, when you trade using volume-based tools, rather than all these fancy indicators that people have, and all these fancy paid-for indicators, you don't need volume. Volume is probably one of the most important things Okay, if I go break it down, and I say this to the guys in the group all the time, if I go break it down and you want the most simple tools, volume, channels, fib extensions. Simple with those three. As long as you know how to use them properly, it's very simple to do. Okay, so you can see here, this line here, ignore this major point of control because this is where it currently is, but this red line here has been the developing point of control. So this basically, ever since this has been started down here, you can see this point of control has acted as support so many times. Major move up here, support. So this pullback here that came in once again to the point of control. It then broke structure, it came back into the point of control. It then continued up, broke a little bit more structure, point of control. Back in, took some lows, yep, natural, grabbing a bit of liquidity, came back up, tested it, came back up, tested it. And again, from where we are right now, okay, from what happened yesterday, it's just holding this point of control, okay? Yes, ideally, if you're looking for trades, you need more tools than just one. But in this kind of environment, it's just been as simple as that, okay? So this is why it's really important. Use simple tools, simple, reliable tools, okay? Not like a stochastic, not like an RSI, because they are very subjective. Something like a volume profile is not that subjective. It's crystal clear. You can see it. You can see it. Okay? And this is in real time as well. This isn't pasting this point of control after the event. This is in real time. So you can see here, obviously this point of control here, this is real time. This is where the point of control now sits. Okay? Very important level. FYI. So, outside of that, okay, I'm going to go back to what I posted on last week's YouTube update. If you guys cast your mind back, if you did watch last week's YouTube update, I was talking about some major levels. Okay, one of them blasted through last night and it gave zero reaction. Okay, and that was the 3-spot extension. I mentioned this around 95, 96k. I mentioned this. Okay, if we zoom into a lower term time frame, we can see what I mean by it gave no reaction. Now, this did happen through the night in my time. But if I'd have been around for this, yes, I'd have been interested in having a short setup if one was presented. But even if we zoom in to the 1 minute time frame, it never lost any market structure. This is the 1 minute time frame. Create a high, create a low, create a high, create a high, low, high, low, high, low. It didn't even break 1 minute market structure. So therefore, there's no short trade to be had within that environment. And this is the beauty of understanding how to trade like a professional, is it's not, oh, I like this line here. Spitty says he likes this line here. Let's set a limit short. Let's set a limit short here. And this is what a lot of people do. This is where people go wrong, especially the guys that want to short the market. I do want to short the market at specific times. If I'm given a scalp setup, yes, cool. But this is what people do. And then what happens is it comes up into the level, doesn't change any structure and just blasts through. And you just lost for the sake of losing. This is the same with looking for longs as well. That's why I don't leave limits. I want to see what happens. This is a zone of interest. I want to see what happens. Does anything happen? Does it present me with my setup criteria? Yes, no. If no, then no problem. There's no trade. So I don't lose anything. If it does present me with a trade setup, great, I win. Happy days. Set the trade and I win. So on that, it just went straight through. So therefore, this can now disappear. So now, the only ones I'm looking at, and again, talked about this last week, let's just turn the brightness on that up so you guys can see it on the screen. I know it's going to be dark. There you go. We've got a major level just above us. Psychological, 100,000. This is a major level. Major level. Around this, it's probably going to start getting a little bit fun. A little bit volatile. We've got profit taking going on. We've got a lot of people, a lot of spot positions looking to take profit on the run up to that 100k. You can see these. There's a lot of spot positions looking to skim some profits. And why wouldn't you? 100k has been talked about ever since the last cycle top. So yeah, people are going to be starting to pay themselves. So we've got a big zone here, psychological zone. Okay. Now, it comes up into this and starts rejecting. Cool. Right. Well, all I'll do is I'll wait for an established range to form. And at the top of the range, I'll short. At the bottom of the range, I'll long. And I'll just play that range until one side of it gives way. And if it comes down lower, great. I've got a better buying opportunity. Okay. As long as the trend on all three major time frames, that's the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, are still pointing up, that's the direction to play. If they start breaking down, yeah, it starts getting a little bit more squeaky bum time. Now, after, or should I say, if the 100k mark does go, then the next two major levels are on the chart. Everything else is thin air in between. It's just thin air. Thin air. Thin air. So that doesn't mean I'm going to be aggressively shorting within that. Yeah, if there's a scalp setup, I'll take it. But I want to see some sort of range forming, just like what happened here. We had a range forming. Quite simple. We had highs and lows. The range tool. We had highs and we had lows. We came up, took the high, came back down. Point of control. Tried taking the high again, came back down. VWAP. Broke out, back test, pump up. Okay, so I'll just wait for a range. Once I've got a range, I can then make decisions whether I want a long or short, or both. Okay? So that's the play. That's the play. What I don't want you guys doing, and I said this last week, and I'm going to repeat myself this week, and I apologise if I sound like a stuck record, is I don't want you guys like just randomly shorting because you're angry because either A, you didn't get a position lower down, or B, you're trying to be the smart bear. Don't be the smart bear. Be the smart bear when the market is sideways or down. Be the dumb bull when the market is this way. Yes, you're going to take losses. Even as a bull, as a long only trader, you're still going to take losses. But all you're doing is looking for your major support levels. Okay. Now, speaking of support, what could we look at potentially as support within this? Okay. Well, first and foremost, your big zone would be this point of control. As I've showed to you, this point of control has been paramount in this uptrend. So if it does come down, starts rolling down, what happens here? Big question. Do we come in and start getting a local market structure change? Great, cool. I'll have a long trigger. If not, do we come back down, back into this range? At the lows of this range, if we start losing this point of control at the lows of this range, what happens? Do we come down, maybe take the lows, grab a bit of liquidity, reclaim? Great, cool. All I'm doing at that point is then back to trading this range. My bias still leans up eventually, but this range could go on for a while. You know, we could range outside of this. So I'm just looking for the strongest levels of support. Okay, this being one of them. These range lows being the next one. Bit of a zone. I wouldn't call it a perfect range low because you do have liquidity under these lows. What do I mean by that? I mean stop losses. Okay, if it starts coming down lower than that, then it's starting time to get a little bit more concerned. Not overly concerned. It's still, for me, a buying opportunity. It's still a buying opportunity as long as we remain, and I'm going to make this clear, and I'm going to keep this for the members, as long as we remain above this level here. It's still a buying opportunity. 73,666-ish. That's coming back down into this range, then I'm looking back to trading this range. Quite simply. Okay? Anything above that? Cool. Great. Up only market. Right. That'll do. Hopefully you've learned something. Once again, I reiterate, we've got the 50% off offer running on the multi-month plans. Okay. We've also got the altcoin live stream for the public in the Discord, hosted in the Discord on Friday evening at 6:30 PM UTC. And also the BloFin 20% off trading fees. So obviously if you want to take advantage of that, again, links down in the description. Right. Have a great day, team, as you were. Bye-bye.